What a great open. Ronn Owens, KTVU Radio. Yep, the evening news, you got it. Jessica Aguirre, anchor for NBC Bay Area. You got Frank Somerville, anchor for KTVU Fox 2. Ama Daetz, anchor for KGO TV, that's ABC 7. Wow, much to talk about. We're going to start off with an attack because Carlo Marinucci was on in the last hour. And by the way, we're going to talk about everything. You want to say hi to him, you want to ask him questions, whatever. Feel free to jump in, because otherwise I'll hog the conversation. 808-0810 is the number. So Carlo is on, and we were talking. She talked about Frank, who's got one of the more popular, one of the more popular Facebook places anywhere. I mean, you got, what, 500,000 people or something?
I think so, right around there.
All right, so you wrote, apparently, that it was, what was it, reprehensible for John Lewis to turn around and call Donald Trump an illegitimate president, and that it was wrong for him to not go to the inauguration.
Right.
Is that what people expect of an anchor? Is that what they want? I mean, whether I agree with you or not, the point is, do they want opinions like that?
You know, I think that things are just changing. I know I pushed a line on that. I know I got very close to the line on that. Things are just different these days. Many years ago, we would never do that. But with social media out there, I think you're seeing that anchors and reporters are doing that kind of thing more often. And what I was trying to do there was not in any way protect Donald Trump. What I was trying to do was protect the office of the presidency. And I just thought that it was wrong for Congressman Lewis. And granted, I love Congressman Lewis. He's a great man. He's done great things. I just happen to disagree with him here. I don't think it's cool to call your president an illegitimate president. He is our president.
Well, interesting enough, I happen to totally agree with you, but that doesn't change the fact that a lot of people were upset about it. Jess, you tell me, at what point do you draw the line between just doing the news and saying, hey, this is how I feel about it?
Well, I certainly respect, Frank's decision to do what he felt was right. I think it is true when he says that we're entering this new era where people don't expect you just to sit there and not give an opinion. But I think sometimes I, for myself, try to draw a line in what things I can't express my opinion. I think some things are universal. The death of a child is a universal thing that we all can share in. Some sort of an earthquake or something that's a tragedy that we universally can all feel, that we know universally we're going to feel the same thing for. In those things, I think I'm okay to express my opinion. It's tragic, it's terrible. There are different things within politics that I try to refrain from expressing my opinion. It doesn't mean news people don't have their opinions. I mean, if you know Ron very well, we sit in the newsroom and we are griping about things left and right. But I do think that to take a position, for me, on social media or on the news, is a line that I give myself that I try not to cross.
Let me throw that question to Ama and add another thing. What about people who say they can tell what you think because of your expression on TV?
Oh, I think you never know what we are thinking. But I do agree with Jessica. I'm in the camp where my job is to give you the information. You can decide how you feel about it. Of course we have our opinions. Everybody has their own opinions. But for me personally, like you said, when it comes to the death of a child, something like that, obviously we all feel sadness for that. But when it comes to political views and things like that, I believe it's best to just give the viewers the information so they can decide what they want to feel about it. That's generally how I feel.
And on the facial expression thing, it's really hard to gauge. People will say, oh, you looked upset during that time. People don't realize all the stuff that's going on. Sometimes the producer is yelling in your ear about something, so that's why you might have that scowl, because you really want to yell at her back, but instead you're delivering the news. So there's a lot of dynamics that's going on. I don't think it's fair to say you can always read our expression, because there's a lot of other things that expression might be for your co-anchor or for someone else around you in that moment.
And
it's not
Frank,
necessarily
you
for
find
the
yourself
news.
in a position I can't understand, having two women disagree with you.
Well, I think it's a very interesting discussion, and it's something that I think about with every single post that I do. And I don't do very many political posts because oftentimes it's a no-win situation. Half the people are going to love you, half the people are going to hate you. What I was trying to do was just create a discussion because I think the discussion is important, and I thought it was an important topic to discuss, whether it is okay to call our president not legitimate, and whether it's okay for members of Congress to boycott our transition of power, which is something that this country was founded on. And personally, my thought was that I get that people can't stand Donald Trump. I'm not trying to defend him, but I do think it was disappointing to me that members of Congress chose not to be there. I just think personally they should be there because that's what our country was founded on. That's what our country is based on, is peaceful transition of power. Yeah, I know I push the boundaries, and I do push the boundaries sometimes. And sometimes I think I've gone a little too far, but that's just That's who I am, and I'm always learning, and I'll be the first one. If I feel like I made a mistake, I'll be the first one to say, you know what, I shouldn't have done that.
Ama, I'll leave it with you. I mean, it's a terrible thing to say, but I've said this consistently. The election of Donald Trump is bad for the country, but manna for talk show hosts or people in broadcasting. You agree?
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, it's been very interesting, to say the least, and it's going to continue to be interesting and fascinating to see how this plays out. It'll probably be studied for years and years down the line. And, you know, it's great that Frank gets the conversation going with viewers, and along the lines of people saying, we can tell what you're thinking just by your facial expressions. Even if I do a social media post giving just the facts, sometimes people are just going to read into it the way they want to read into it and look for and find what they want to find, no matter what you say. So it is one of those tough situations. Even if you're not giving an opinion,
Yeah, I mean,
they think you are.
Generally, I really try and steer clear of politics. I just have to be honest. I just really was disappointed in Congressman Lewis for calling him a president who's not legitimate.
Well, I love that you wrote it. You
I
gave us
just-
the first 5 minutes.
I just thought that was disappointing. I just thought that
You're so
was disappointing.
self-serving. You're so
And I
self-serving.
love John Lewis.
He thinks the world of you, too. We've got Frank Somerville, Ama Daetz, and Jessica Aguirre in the studio. 808-0810 is our number. I'm Ronn Owens. Feel free to jump in and call. Otherwise, we got lots more to talk about. Stay with us. This is KGO.
Mark Nieto and I